Friends, welcome. Welcome to Green Card Guys TV. I appreciate y'all following and subscribing and sharing our videos to your friends and colleagues. We've had several people call in or schedule an appointment, and they've told us that their friends have shared the video to them. So I greatly appreciate it. Of course, as always, I'm happy to try my best to answer any questions on the show. I may have, sometimes I forget, but I may have put if you want to join the lobby or the one-on-one here on screen, you don't have to, but if you want to, I believe I put the link in the description box below. Now, if you're watching for the first time, I want to share with you that we do offer a free 15-minute preliminary discussion, really sometimes because you may have that one or two questions and you just need to get through that to that next step. So we're happy to do that because we understand everyone's budget is different. And of course, you may not know who to consider for lawyers, so you may not want to invest the money, right? So I understand that. But if you do, so that's for 15 minutes. If you do want more time, we do offer 30-minute and 45 minutes, but that is for a payment fee. And our CARES team can provide you that information. But of course, if you do have more time, please fill out the intake form down below in the description box. It starts with Ting Law, and our CARES team will contact you within 24 hours of the business day. Now, to access that, please provide this not so secret code, Green Card Guys. Okay, you can even text it, and our team will call you. If it's during business hours, they'll call you the same day. They'll do their best. And okay, so this video, most of this call, other than the questions that we'll answer, of course, is about what's going on in India. Number one, I feel very bad. I hope if you have any family members in India or surrounding areas that are suffering because of the pandemic and the recent surge of people who have been passing away, please let us know how we can help. I mean, there might not be much we can do, but we can certainly donate some dollars to an organization, nonprofit organization that is on the ground in India helping, because it's difficult for us as U.S. citizens to know which specific organization to donate to. I mean, other than the standard default ones like American Red Cross, but depending on the situation, I don't tend to donate to American Red Cross. Personally, I think they have a lot of cost, so they don't go directly to the people that need it. So anyways, please let us know. Drop in the comments if you know of an organization there. But I mentioned that first. So of course, first, my condolences to anyone who's had a family member pass away due to the COVID-19 in general, not just India, of course. But here in this video, we want to talk about share with you what's going on with the proclamation, okay? That's affected India. I've got a lot of tabs open, so I got to find it. Let's see here. Fami, I saw your question. I will definitely answer that as soon as I can. Once I get this one open. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to share my screen about the proclamation here that was signed on April 30th. I believe this is right after a mass celebration in India. So here we go. I want to explain this first because that's what my video was talking about. Let's see here. Share my screen. Okay. Hope this is large enough. Okay. But to give you an idea, I always want to share where I find my resources. This one is from the whitehouse.gov, or you can go to wh.gov as you see here on the top. This is the proclamation on the suspension of entry as non-immigrant visas, okay, who pose a risk of transmitting coronavirus disease 2019. And I'm sharing this because this really goes into detail of who could qualify to come back into the U.S. and who does not, who would still be restricted. So I wanted to go through this because a lot of people have been asking us to do a video about this. Okay, so as of April 29th this year, the U.S. experienced more than 32 million confirmed COVID-19 cases and more than 570,000 deaths. And that's just in the US. Okay. He's following, the administration following, implement science-based public health measures. That's refreshing to know, not just making up stuff as they go in the media. CDC is going to work with Department of Health and Human Services with DHS, okay? It has determined that Republic of India is experiencing widespread ongoing person-to-person transmission that causes COVID-19. So the WHO has reported that Republic of India has had more than 18 million confirmed cases. So that's quite a bit, friends. So please, regardless of which country you're living in, please continue wearing your mask. Doesn't matter what the government official says. If you feel unsafe, really, you're wearing a mask to protect other people. So if you unsubscribe from my channel because you don't believe in that, I get it. It's whatever. I mean, I'm just going to say what I think is appropriate on that. I think you should still continue wearing a mask, take the vaccine. Some people I know in my family don't want to take it. Some people do. So thankfully, they want to protect themselves. Just depends. But that's a lot of people affected and a lot of death. Okay. I don't have the death count here, but they just mentioned how many confirmed cases. Magnitude of scope in India is surging. And from all accounts, it appears true, right? I check the numbers actually for India almost every couple of days because I'm just concerned. We have family, friends, and also clients who have family in India. So it's obviously a concern for many people. Anyway, get down to the details here. There's a lot to say here, but I'm going to skip it so you can read it all in full yourself if you like. whitehouse.gov. Click on proclamations. And here it says, okay, who is affected by this? Or who is not affected by this? And that is, of course, any U.S. citizen, any lawful permanent resident of the United States, and any non-citizen who is a spouse of a U.S. citizen. All right. And okay, just went away for a second. Let's go back. All right. So it doesn't even actually, it's more broad than what President Trump had. President Trump was more restrictive, and to where it didn't even mention, I don't recall it mentioning any non-citizen who is a spouse of a U.S. citizen or a spouse of a lawful permanent resident. So it's more expensive so that y'all can come here because I've had some clients that even ask me if because the non-citizen has applied for adjustment status and can they travel now? You can, right? But you just, of course, have to be careful of COVID-19. And also it includes any non-citizen who is a parent or legal guardian of a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident. I definitely do not recall seeing that under President Trump's proclamations. So again, that's more expensive. So meaning if you have a son or daughter, married or not, it doesn't say the age. Oh, it says actually, provided that the child is under 21, okay, and unmarried. So basically, in your household is what they're trying to say. Okay, and then the next one is, so it's actually got a lot of categories here. So yeah, y'all should definitely take a look at this. We'll put the link to this if you can't find it in the description box after the show. So you can take more look. It even includes here letter V, any non-citizen who's a sibling of a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident, provided that both are unmarried and under the age of 21. Again, I did not see that under President Trump proclamations. Okay. Anyway, you can go through it. It definitely talks more about this. And they even put here non-citizen traveling as non-immigrant pursuant to C1D or C1/D non-immigrant visa. And that's really for people in the travel industry, like cruise ships or flight attendants or pilots, for example. Okay, so yeah, very expansive. And I'm pretty sure this is indefinite until further notice. Let's see here. Yeah, I believe so. There's no like endpoint of this, I believe. Termination, yep, shall remain in effect until terminated by the president, so it's indefinite, and they're going to revisit this policy this proclamation every 30 days. Okay, friends, so that covers that part. Okay, now to get to y'all's questions. Thank you for your patience. But I also did want to share about, some people ask, will it affect people who have a application going, and you finally have an interview at the consulate or embassy. You finally got the interview, and then you receive the visa. Number one, you still have to have they still are supposed to process interviews. Unless they've mentioned something on the State Department website specifically about COVID-19 concern. We can definitely check that after this, but as far as I know, not yet, but we'll check again. But if you have a concern that your interview was canceled, or you're still waiting for still a long time, please contact us. Contact us, our phone number down below, or text us. Fill out the intake form if you can. We greatly appreciate that. They'll save you and our team some time. And because we're finding ways to file lawsuits against the government because of significant many months delay of for example, a visa stamp, not getting a visa stamp, even though everything on paper is they're eligible. And also, if they don't even have received the interview date at all. And I understand the last couple of days ago, we did provide the statement from the Department of State on their prioritization, their priority list, essentially. But even so, a lot of people that call into us and have become clients, we greatly appreciate that. And they have told us that every time they email the consulate about their case, they respond eventually, not that quickly, but eventually they respond and say, oh, we're not having interviews for your category, or we're not having interviews because of the pandemic. It's like, come on, that's crazy. A lot of consulates are having interviews. And in fact, not just interviews, they're issuing visas. So you just can't give the generic blank statement excuse of the pandemic. It's definitely a concern, but that doesn't mean you can't have the interview. And I share this every time. We're happy to share if we have time here today. But if you ask us, and you're welcome to in the chat, in the comment section, if you have a case going on and waiting for a U.S. consulate or embassy in a particular country, let us know. What date you've received the documentarily qualified email from the National Visa Center, and which country or which U.S. consulate or embassy, and we'll take a look. We'll share with you. And also which category of your, like, F1, F2, or IR. Let us know so we can check the visa statistics. Friends, we check this. These are updated by the Department of State every month. And it's been very clear. They have updated this, or it's been trending, increasing the number of visas being issued. So that's why they can't just say, the government can't just say, and they do, oh, we're closed, or we're not having interviews because of the pandemic. That's not true, because it's trending upwards. So anyways, just wanted to go on my rant there, because I know a lot of people are frustrated, and so are we. So that's why we've been suing the government and getting some responses here. Okay, so I want to share. Sorry, before I get to the questions, I wanted to see, so far in this proclamation, it doesn't mention anything about non-immigrants being able to come in unless, when I say non-immigrant, I mean if you have an H-1B visa, for example, and you get the stamp. Here, it doesn't mention that as an exception, unfortunately. Yeah, unless it's like your entry would be in the interest of national interest. So, look, if you're in a country abroad, please tell your friends and family to continue wearing a mask, practice social distancing, because if it could become something like what's going on in India, the president will issue a proclamation like this. Because I remember several months ago, the numbers were not like this. And from what I've been told, it was due to a mass celebration. So, and I get it, this religious ceremony, celebration, but look, I mean, health is number one, okay? And this is what the president had to do, okay? So it's just a sad thing. All right. because a lot of people are affected by this. Okay, so going to some questions here. Fami, I appreciate it. Good afternoon to you, sir. What's the difference between introducing a bill to the House or to the Senate, and why? Great question. These are all wonderful questions. I'm happy to explain. That's what we're about on this channel. We're also here to solve your immigration problem. First of all, hopefully you don't have an immigration problem and just wanting to know updates, but we're here to solve the problem. What's the difference? So I'm just going to go back to the basics, but in Congress, the United States Congress, there's two separate, we call it bicameral, but two separate, what do you call it? I guess groups. You can call it like two different groups. The House of Representatives, this is how you create balance in America, because if the country is tilted more to one party, that's why usually every election it's almost balanced. This year is only 50 and 50 for the Senate. 50 Democrats, 50 Republicans. I don't recall remembering 50-50 for quite a while, but usually it's not a huge difference, in terms of the balance. Or each party tries to keep them in check. But anyways, a bill can be introduced in both sides. Even if, like, let's say the Citizenship Act of 2021, it could be introduced in the Senate and it can be introduced in the House at the same time. There's no time limit or anything like that. And sometimes even if the same name, the intent is meant to be the same, but each side, each group had to go through their own process in terms of getting introduced, onto the Senate floor or the House floor. And then after that, it gets sent to committee. It gets sent to a smaller group of people that are on a committee. And then they review it and they take testimony from the people. I actually don't know exactly how to sign up to testify. I have to look that up. But I'm sure there's a way. So if you look at a channel like C-SPAN or something, they always show these kind of hearings, committee hearings. And actually, we follow some on YouTube. They have a YouTube channel to follow these committee hearings. That's how we get our updates as well. And also setting up alert on congress.gov. So that's how we're able to update you as soon as possible. I would love to update you sooner, but because I have to do work. This is my side job, is this YouTube channel, but we want to share info as soon as possible. And then after it goes to committee and it gets passed in the committee level, and then it gets sent back to the floor of the House or the Senate, and then gets voted on there. So unfortunately, it may seem simple and should be only done in a week, but if you've been following U.S. news and government, it's not that quick. And then even if it's already passed at the committee level, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go straight to the floor next week. The House Majority Leader, for example, Steny Hoyer, I think he's out of Maryland, but anyway, they set the agenda along with other higher up senior political elected officials. So it just depends what's more, I guess you could say, urgent at the time. But anyway, just assuming all that aside, let's say the House passes it, right? Or passes that bill, proposal. Anytime people say the word bill, it really means a proposal. It doesn't mean law. It only becomes law when it passes the Senate and the House. It doesn't matter which one is first, but if it passes both sides, and then that bill, let's just say the document gets sent to the president's desk, and that is when it becomes law, when he signs it. Sometimes it can be effective as law on the day he signs it, or they can make it specific, like September 1st, for that year or the following year. So it just depends on that. So let's see here. What else can I share? But for example, the American Dream and Promise Act of 2021, that was passed in the House. I think in March. We made a video about that. And look, it's still sitting it passed in the House, but it's just sitting, right? It got transferred sent to the Senate, and now they have to go through their process. And when I say process, it can include going through the committee level, going to, for example, the filing amendments meaning changes. So that is I can talk all day about this, but that's really the basics right there. So hopefully that helps. So any update on, sorry, my phone's going off. I need to see if I can turn it off here on my computer. Okay. Any update on Dreamers Essential? No, not right now. As far as I know, no update on that. It's not as serious, meaning it gets sent to the Senate floor or anything like that. Unfortunately, not yet. But we'll definitely keep y'all updated for sure. I know a lot of people, y'all are wondering. Adia has the same question. We'll definitely update y'all as soon as possible. Is there any update, Rohan? Is there any update on asylum interview case backlog 2017 or 16? To be honest, I normally don't check that backlog. I'm not even too sure how to check the backlog on that, because I remember when it was Attorney General Jeff Sessions, he changed the policy to where whoever at that time, I think 2016 and 17 actually, that the first come, first serve, or last in, first serve. So whoever filed recently at that time would be having the interview that at that time. So I don't know if you're on, I don't know if yours is something we call affirmative application, that where you mail it to USCIS, or if your application is to the court, EOIR, for immigration court. But I'm assuming yours is affirmative, meaning you mailed it to USCIS. Okay, so hang in there tight. There could be a way to expedite it if you want to interview sooner. We do know counsels, attorneys that only handle asylum. So if you want to be referred to that individual, that attorney, we're happy to do it. There's a lot of good lawyers out there, and we're happy to point you in the right direction, especially if you have a court case or need a representation at an interview. And if you, even before you interview, especially for asylum, you need to be prepared. It's not as simple as one might think. Yes, you're going to tell a story, you're going to tell the truth, but you need to be organized, okay? You need to understand what the government is looking for. So even though you may be telling the truth, some people might not share everything. You have to provide the very specific details. So even when we ask clients, people in a consultation, what their story is very limited, right? That's what the lawyer's for, is to help dig and ask questions, investigate, and prepare our clients for the interview or for the court hearing. That's what we're there for, okay? You're welcome, Fami. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. We like to be personal. That's what I'm about. And of course, solve y'all's immigration problem. And of course, hopefully not, hopefully you don't have an immigration problem, but we're here to answer the question. Chef, when am I getting your food? When can I buy some of your food, Chef? Chef Tejas, any update for green card holder, spouse USA, spouse visa? I'm pretty sure you told me this before, but I don't remember which country or if you're abroad or not. It's probably been several months since you told me. But Chef, if you can fill out the intake form, and we can check on that for you, okay? Rohan, is filing fast track make your interview faster? Does it make any effect in terms of priority list? I'm not entirely sure how the asylum office is prioritizing these cases, because I believe when President Biden took over, I feel like they changed that last in, first out policy. And because I don't really think that's the best way to reduce the backlog. You got to get rid of the backlog first, the old cases, like, for example, yours. So, Rohan, if you're interested, I'm happy to direct you to an attorney who only does asylum, because I don't know that question in particular. Okay. Or I don't know that answer. Okay. And that's what we're about. We're here to tell the truth. If we don't know something, I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to guess. All right. Because a lot of things change, and it's really difficult, to be honest, to keep track of everything. But by the way, if y'all, we just had we have several consultations, that have this similar question. And that is, if you're here on a visitor visa, or it's about to expire, or it has expired already, give us a call as soon as possible or schedule an appointment. If you need some more time, here's the website. Okay, again, we do offer, in addition to the free 15 minutes, we do offer 30 minutes and 45 minutes. We try our best to get it done in 15, but sometimes you may need more time. If you already know you need more time, please go ahead and schedule that in because we really book it back to back. So to really answer as many questions as possible for y'all. What I was going to say, so if you're here on a visitor visa or it's expired or about to expire, your country of nationality or birth may be part of an e-visa list. So you could qualify. It may be possible for you to qualify to stay in the country and change your status to e-visa. Okay, so it depends on the country of nationality. Depends on a lot of things. It's generally reserved for people who want to invest or start their business in America. Okay, there's a lot more to it, of course. So we're going to provide a free guide about that. For some reason, I don't believe we have that available in the link below, but we will definitely provide that for the future episodes. Or you're welcome to fill out the intake form and you can request it after the fact. Okay, friends. Let's see here. Got a comment. Okay. Well, a couple similar question here is by Mazyad and Mahamat about reform. Slightly different. Do I think there's going to be immigration reform? I am praying, friends. I'm praying for you. I am praying for people I know for immigration reform. I know people who have been here for 20 plus years. They've tried to do everything right, and they're trying to make ends meet, okay, for their family. I cannot, as a lawyer, I cannot encourage anyone to stay in America illegally without documentation, but I know there are many people here without status. So do I think there's going to be reform? I do believe so, but it might not include provisions, information that could protect your situation, unfortunately. Do I hope there's going to be essential workers included? I sure hope so. And they better, because it's still the pandemic, technically. Essential workers, y'all have been doing so much hard work for us. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. And essential workers should be included in the reform. But we all know what's going on the conservative side. Republicans, they don't know what the heck immigration is about. They only say immigration, the border, blah, 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 the border, people coming here illegally. They don't know. They don't understand the issues. If they do understand the issues, what's going on in immigration, they would solve it. But clearly they haven't tried to solve anything, unfortunately. So if you have a conservative friend, please take the time. Be patient. I know I don't sound patient right now, but please be patient with your conservative friend so you have the time to explain to them what the issues are. You still pay taxes. At least I hope so. You better be, because that's the Republicans, their typical argument against allowing immigrants to have permanent status in America is that immigrants don't pay taxes. But I have a high percentage of my clients pay taxes even before they come to my, call us in or give us a call and become clients. But for those that don't, I always encourage it, of course. And they eventually do, because they understand the importance of it, contributing to American society. Okay, so, I've answered this before. If you're just joining us, if immigration reform happens, I think it could be August. It's not going to be anytime soon. But if you are new to our channel and you haven't subscribed, please do, so you can and click the bell so you can get all the notifications for the future videos, because we try to update as soon as possible. It might not be within the same hour that the news gets released, but even if it does, we'll do a short video or something instead of going to full detail at the moment. Okay, Chef, you are in India. I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry if you have any friends and family that are suffering right now due to the pandemic. Your wife is green card holder. She filed I-130 in May 2020. Okay. And if your wife applied for U.S. citizenship, does it affect your I-130? Okay, so she completed 5 years in USA already, which, okay, so let's check that out. What I look at, Chef, is the visa bulletin, okay? And what we look at here is, I'll see if I can share my screen, but okay. I'm going to try to go through this quickly. If I don't answer your question now, please fill out the intake form down below, because our care team will give you a call. I have to end this live show very soon, but let me answer Chef's question. Okay, you're a spouse of a resident holder, that's F2A, and F2A shows current right now for all countries. It show current for F2A for at least the past year, thankfully. Okay, Chef. So she doesn't have to become a citizen to make it faster in this situation, because number one, you're already abroad, you're in India, so but anyway, so hang tight. Okay, first step is you file the petition I-130, but you have to wait until it's approved. Okay, now she can become a U.S. citizen, then that would just convert it to something we call immediate relative. Now, immediate relative meaning, there's still a wait time, but not like this visa bulletin, but it shows current C right now. But it could make your petition process faster to get approved. Okay, so you don't have to wait for a request for evidence from USCIS. What we like to do, if clients petitioner become a U.S. citizen, then we provide proof of the certificate of naturalization. Okay, but your case has already been processing since May 2020. So let's be in touch. Okay, fill out the intake form down below, Chef, and we can get in contact with you or your wife in America about this, whether it's worth filing to become a U.S. citizen. Okay, in general, I do think it's worth it, because then you can vote in America. Okay, but there's a lot of other benefits. I'm pretty sure we did a video about that before. And yeah, she's been here 5 years in America. Well, 5 years in America is one thing, but how many years of resident status and how she got the resident status? Assuming she didn't get it through a previous spouse, then yes, she has to wait 5 years with the resident status. But maybe she went through consular processing also, so then she looks like, assuming she is eligible to apply to become a citizen. There we go. My mic's working now. Sorry about that. I don't know how long I've been talking muted. Hopefully not too long. Which immigration bill do I think will pass first? Although I'm sure you're like me, I prefer the Citizenship Act of 2021, but I do believe it, based on what I see so far, I think it could be the American Dream and Promise Act, because that's already passed the House. Okay. Thanks for letting me know, Sima. I think I should be unmuted by now. Can someone give me a thumbs up or something? But yeah, I can't hear myself. But it looks like I'm unmuted right now. But yeah, I think American Dream and Promise Act, because that includes Dreamers, DACA recipients, and TPS holders. It definitely does not include everyone, unfortunately. But hey, that's why we do recommend go to our resource page on our website, because we do have links about who you can select. Thank you very much, Simon. I appreciate it. There could be a delay. But go to our website, greencardguys.com. It will redirect you to our other website. But on the resource page, we do have a couple links that you can find out who your elected official is. And you can write a letter. I don't know if every elected official, politician, receive correspondence the same way. You could do it the traditional way, write a letter, or maybe submit information on their online form. But if you would like a sample letter, what to write to them, please fill out the intake form or give us a text. But if you fill out the intake form, that's much faster, and we'll send you a sample letter, okay? Because if you care more about essential workers, for example, we need your support to write letters to elected officials. Otherwise, they're going to drag their feet, Democrats included, okay? A lot of politicians are all talk, so let's get them working. Let's encourage them to get working, okay? My friends, I have to get back to work. I got to get back to my day job. Okay, so if you enjoy our content, I greatly appreciate if you can hit the like button and share a video with your friends and family, even if you don't know if they have a problem, because some people, they like to keep it to themselves. I completely understand. But if you know they're here on a visa, or uh, if they're here on a visa, or if they're here out of status, if they just want to make sure that what they can do now, maybe there may be an option now that you're thinking, but you might not know about because you're focused on the immigration reform. You could be eligible for something. I just had a conversation with someone earlier that the visitor visa expired, but they could be eligible for the e-visa. So you want to contact the immigration lawyer sooner than later, even if it's not me. There's so many of us out there. I wish I could help everyone, but there's millions of people. Okay, so we're here to point you in the right direction, friends. Okay, until next time, please continue wearing your mask. Take care.